I'm gonna pretend over here is like where medicine cats sit. I'm getting rid of this flower, it's annoying me. All cats old enough to run through the moors gather for a clan meeting, he yelled to his clan. There's a squirrel in camp! Melrosechirp sat, not paying any mind to the call. Meetings weren't for medicine cats. I could have picked an easier to say name.
Yeah.
He looked to his fellow clanmates. As you can see, we are without a deputy, he continued, and as per tradition, I must appoint one before moon high. I elect Dim Gaze. I like their morph a lot. The Chimera Tomcat let out a soft huff, accompanied by a whispered prayer for their fallen deputy. Yeah, I like this one. What emotion is that?
Wizard hat.
He looked towards Dim Gaze. You didn't even ask. You senior warrior blinked for a moment, surprised by Thunderstar's gaze, before he stood. Melrose's eyes settled on Dim Gaze. A fine choice, should they have an opinion on the matter. Dim Gaze, he called out proudly. You have done well in being a warrior and serving one clan. I believe you would be a great deputy. As his leader's words registered in Dim Gaze's mind, the Tom gave his head a polite dip. I am honored to serve as deputy under you, Tumblestar. Dim Gaze, they were the first to chant. Odd from them. The older Tom swayed his tail, glancing amongst his fellow clanmates before leaping from the cloud and landing square onto his new place beside the leader. Elegant! I know, right? Melrose departed from the group early, feeling that they needed to search for herbs before the sun fell. They intentionally left disrespectfully. They nipped at the stems of the chervil, keeping a tight bundle in their maw as they continued. A spooky cat. They stepped a paw onto the log, staring at the loner with calm eyes. Hello? Magpie froze, staring back at the unfamiliar cat, her orange eyes a stark contrast to the darkening night. Hello? What brings you so far into WindClan territory? They chirped, despite being fairly close to the barn. Magpie anxiously wobbled up the fallen trunk, eyes darting around. Well, I was trying to find food and shelter. Melrose lifted their head. You'd be a brilliant annoyance to Tumblestar, they mewed. Would you like a place to rest? She scanned the cat's figure, questioning her choices and her future in survival. Yes. Come with me then, they said with a turn of their head towards the camp. Wow, that's an entire patrol! Mateo flicked. Go on, I have this handled. Greeting Melrose, glad you're taking care of the loner. They stepped in front of her, tail flicking in agitation. Go, then. No, we can travel in peace, they said with a sigh, continuing. You're alright, they assured, knowing the plan could be overwhelming. Magpie went with every step, her back aching with pain, her mouth filling with the scent of many cats. Pick a nest. I'll treat your wounds while you get some rest. Don't mind me. They settled behind the unidentified cat, gently treating the wounds. Whoa! Tumblestar, their voices laced in distaste. Welcome. Melrosechirp! He said, slowly walking into the medicine den, not noticing the loner. I cannot spell face. They fluffed their tail in the loner's face to hush them, walking forward. If you had any signs from Star Clan, I have this feeling something is coming. Would it be the loner behind you? They replied just as bluntly. Melrose. She's hurt and no older than a kit. They lifted their head. Didn't think you'd object. I wouldn't object if you hadn't snuck them in, he paused, sighing. Tend to them. Once they're fine, we will continue to talk. You were supposed to be sleeping, they scowled. You're supposed to not bring in random cats you find in the forest, he replied, patting away before Melrose could respond. Alright. Do you have any food or herbs? I was declawed. They probably wouldn't mind if I take a few poppies. I absolutely do mind! It's small, but too much food quickly will upset your stomach. You can eat more in the morning. Melrose's whiskers flicked as they thought to themselves. Stay here for now, I'll figure out the drama. I see you're doing leader things. No! I'm gonna pretend that it went through. I hope you don't mind that I fed the 7-moon-old intruder. You fed the loner. Oh, sorry. You fed the loner? The kit, they corrected modestly. Would you expect a newly made apprentice to fend for themselves? They tilted their head. What mighty expectations you have, Tumblestar. Ha, he said duty. A loner is an extra mouth to feed, one that won't hunt for us. And you know that how? Melrose tilted their head. Or are you upset because you don't hunt and now there's another slacker around? I will not allow our clan to starve because you brought in a kit without my knowledge. It's my job as a medicine cat to treat the injured. What happens after that is your call. He flicked his tail in dismissal. And how recovered is this loner? She doesn't have claws. I can't fix that. She will be in pain for the rest of her life. See if a two-leg would care for them. If they can't claw, they can't fight. If they can't fight, surely they can't hunt. I cannot be a proper warrior. Then tell the clan you're turning away a defenseless cat out of fear our warriors cannot spare a mouse or two. He ignored the comment. Well, I have to go tend to the slacker activities and actually lead the clan. Go do what you're supposed to do and take care of that loner. Wise choice. Come sit with me, Melrose gestured towards the exit. That is Tumblestar, the clan's leader you were so rudely introduced to. Oh, that feline? She murmured softly, eyes narrowing at the side of the arrangement. So that's what's happening? What's it like being a treatment cat? Fine, they scratched their fur. Wasn't what I wanted, but things don't always work out. What happened? What did you want to be, leader? They croaked. What is going on up there? I'm having lore! She tilted her head, her eyes widening with surprise at acknowledgement. Why did you have to become a medicine cat? Long story. It's part of why Tumblestar gets on my nerves so badly. Oh, well, when you got the time, do you mind telling me? Sure, but not now. It's late. They nodded, eyes wide with curiosity and wonderment, before glaring at the sky, which rain started to pour. You may sleep in my den still until you're sorted out. Thanks. With one look at the rain hitting her short-furred— Oh, okay, bye. Tumbled at me up! What is this? Why does this keep happening? Hello, Sparrow Marsh, she nodded. Melrose looked over with interest. I'm gonna very ominously sit on the other side of this bush. I didn't mean to turn like that. They listened. You know, this would be a really cool drawing of Melrose sitting on the other side of the bush listening to them talk. Sparrow Marsh, he cleared his throat. How are you handling the rain? He said, blinking the rain from his eyes. Melrose heard the friendliness in Tumblestar's tone. It was infuriating. They were never greeted with such kindness. No, your deputy! Your deputy's getting involved! Melrose didn't seem to notice him approach. Out in the rain, he hummed, matter-of-factly, noticing the distant look in their eyes. Aren't you cold? Melrose's ears swiveled backwards. No? They lied. The rain is nice, except when it gets like this. Dim gaze might be a problem, methinks.
No, not my boy.
Dimgaze gave his head a tilt, clearly amused despite the blank stoic expression on his face. Really now? Share your secrets, because I am freezing. Melrose was more interested in what they had heard. An opportunity, maybe, to show Tumble what they could do with the power he gave them. Something meant to keep them controlled. He nodded, getting a bit annoyed by the rain covering his fur. I'm gonna dry off for a bit. Good talk. They slid in next to Sparrow Marsh. Is he usually so kind to you? They chirped innocently. Ah, nice to see you, Melrosechirp. And, I don't know. I don't speak to him that often, I don't think. The words went right through Melrose's ears. Do you want some shelter from the rain? In my den, perhaps? They sniffed Sparrow Marsh, searching for an excuse. I can get you something to help your pelt look better. I forgot what I said. Oh, that's very kind. Sure, I suppose. Sparrow Marsh's smiled, shaking a few raindrops from her pelt. Perfect. It's this herb. It helps with the oils in your pelt. Lets it lay smoother. I'll show you. Find a nest or just sit anywhere if you'd like. Their tone was laced with a forced purr. No! They put down the Frankenstein herb. I'm certain I didn't spell that right. For your pelt, they reminded. Melrose didn't seem to care what they were doing. All they saw in Sparrow Marsh was an opportunity for revenge. Opportunity spelled incorrectly. It's gradual, they looked over. Your coat will grow stronger and more slick. It's like a change of diet, but an added herb instead. They gave Sparrow a side eye. They should be writhing by now. That's interesting. What herbs did you use? It hurts? Ow, ouch, I don't know what to say. Melrose glanced over, finally. What was that? Sparrow Marsh? They forced a shaky tone. They writhe in pain, suffering as they curl up to try and make it stop. Ah. Okay, I feel bad. What's happening to her? I don't know, I didn't think cats could be allergic to herbs. They patted helplessly on the back of Sparrow's back. It was just Juniper! Their eyes went dull. Tumble would need to know. How? They didn't think that far ahead. Her breathing became shaky and pained. Ah. Until I find out what caused this, tell nobody. The clan will be sent into panic if they find out an herb killed a cat. I've just traumatized the cat I wanted to be my apprentice. Tumblestar, they squealed. In front of everybody. Sparrow Marsh is dead. There was pure panic in their eyes, but from what? I don't know. After you spoke with them last night, they came into my den with an ache, and... Where are they now? In my den still, with Magpie. We'll speak to you after this meeting. Wow! They bit into Sparrow Marsh's scruff, silently pulling them out into the clearing. They waited for Tumble. They wanted to see the pain in his eyes. Are you... Where did you go? Oh, hi! They looked for any sign of emotion in Tumble's gaze. Quiet distaste running through her veins, only to be replaced with silence. I made this cat hate you! Tumble stares at the lifeless cat, holding back tears to maintain a strong appearance for his clan. I'm sorry, Melrose lifted their head. Oddly, they were trying to be comforting. Before Sunhigh. You not crying here is gonna make Melrose extremely mad, by the way. Or, okay, never mind. We'll sit in vigil. We shall bury them in the morning, he said before opening his tear-filled eyes. How do you spell demeanor? Attitude. Melrose wasn't pleased with the response. Their entire attitude seemed off. They gestured towards their den. Let's leave Tumble to mourn. I'll tell you that story I mentioned. They shook out their fur, decompressing. Okay, so. When I was an apprentice, I wanted to be everything. The best warrior, deputy, and leader after that. I did everything I could to be the best, even if, they shrugged, I accidentally hurt the other apprentices trying to beat them to their prey. It was recklessness, but nothing harmful. They seemed like they were convincing themselves. But Tumblestar didn't see it that way. He was infuriated. He knew what I wanted. He swore I would never be leader, and forced me to end my warrior training to become a medicine cat. They looked so shocked. She gasped. He can do that? He can and he did, they nodded. That's why we've been at each other's throats. He knows what he did, trapping me in here. Magpie's eyes softened in understanding, the hate for Tumble deepening in her veins. Something amused them about Magpie being angry. It was nice to not be alone. It's almost day now. They looked out into camp. They must have begun the burial. I need to get out and find some herbs, they mumbled to themselves. Find something to occupy yourself with, Magpie. Or rest if you'd like. Hi!
Help me! Help me!
Oh,
Help
wow.
me!
I'm out of here, dude. Melrose stared out past the path, near Mothermouth. It irked them. Man, I hate that StarClan exists. I was walking around after eating a nice meal, recalling the burial. It was quite something, but so was Tumblestar. Wow, I began to talk to myself. Tumblestar is so intriguing. I think they're cool. Spiderly? They chirped. I can't just... They glared at the cat's proximity to the thunder path. What are you doing out here? Strolling, I grinned. I smelled some rabbits around and got distracted. I heard you speak of Tumblestar. What was that? Oh, just a compliment. I talked to myself, I remarked, unaware. A compliment to that fool. Oh, I've rendered them speechless. Well, I took a step back, a bit nervous. They turned, essentially herding them towards the path with pressuring eyes. How so? Well, you see, before I could continue my nervous ranting, a sudden loud noise roared behind me. I shrieked, turning to see a monster coming at me full speed, and before I could run, it struck. Oh no! They stared. It was a bad omen to trust Tumblestar, clearly. They lifted their chin. A cat would find him, right? Maybe this one would truly hurt Tumblestar. This was an innocent cat, the life of the clan. One could only hope. Man, I feel bad! Hi, I'm here. I've been here this entire time. Oh, I was gonna ask them for an herb patrol, but they're doing a hunting party. I'm so sorry, I didn't realize, they stammered. I just need herbs. Not as important as this. He felt his heart race, his heart relax. That's fine. I'll send out a separate patrol soon. Thank you. Take your time. This is anxiety-inducing. I sent somebody after them. Ran over in the bio is crazy. Those herbs, which do you need? Melrosechirp. Doc, Chervil, they thought. Magpie returned, a look of disgust on her face. Sometimes feline got hit by a monster. Okay, no, you just said a cat got hit by a car. We're not talking about herbs anymore. A cat got hit on the Thunderpath? They echoed. Slightly cheering up to talk to the MEDCAT after everything that's happened. You did not hear what just happened.
I did it.
Tumblestar. They gestured for him to follow. They're over here. I think Magpie led us here because they went the wrong way. Oh, hey there! Melrose placed a paw on Tumble's shoulder, trying to usher him away from the path's edge. He ignored Melrose's grasp and slowly walked towards the corpse, tears filling in his eyes as he looked at the horrific scene. He stuttered, not knowing what to say. This is the second warrior he lost in a short time span. He let out a low, quivering breath. This was terrible. It couldn't have been an accident. Melrose eyed a dim gaze. Tumblestar's right-hand cat. Somebody he needed. Uh-oh! We need to get off the path. The clan can't lose their leader, not like this. What happened, he said to Melrose, not taking his muzzle off the warrior's corpse. Magpie found him. I don't know, they insisted. I'm not, he caught himself shouting before calming himself down a bit. I'm not leaving one of my words to rot on the Thunderpath. This isn't a scene we should bring for kids and apprentices to see, he mumbled, finally breaking down. Melrose's tail flicked over their heels. It wasn't enough. He dug hole. I cried. He found me crying. He crewed too. We crewed.
I got 2 shovels. Happy shoveler, sad shovel.
Bye. Melrose sat cleaning their fur. The silence was deafening. Why is the leader never here? You meow before shifting your glance at the queen and Kit. You've been burying people. They gestured towards Tropplepaw. Please take care of White Kit. I think Dimgaze wants to talk with me. They met Dimgaze's gaze across the den. They didn't move. He'd have to approach. Dimgaze sucked in a low breath as their gazes met, before he finally walked over after what seemed like an eternity. I assumed it would be best for us, 2 of us to talk, just one-on-one. He meowed as threatening as possible. I'd like to stay in my den. They seemed uncertain. He didn't like the strange look in their eyes, but he agreed anyway. That'll be fine. Dimgaze took another step forward and Melrose didn't back down. You seem anxious. Melrose inspected him unwelcomingly. These deaths, he began. Stoic expression looking strained. They're strange, to say the least. How so? Melrose shifted. It's tragic, but they didn't seem related. That's the problem. What could be causing this? He waited for a moment before adding. You were the one who found both of the bodies. Could you know something? Melrose shifted. Magpie found Spider, they corrected swiftly. And of course a MEDCAT is first to a medical scene. Dimgaze lowered his head, but his eyes never fell from the MEDCAT's form. You know something, don't you? You should take some time. Perhaps this would be better discussed while you are calmer. They ignored the statement entirely. Please, Melrosechirp, I'm here. You can talk to me. Dimgaze still couldn't put the pieces together, no matter how wise he was. He looked down at the offered herbs. Deputy hesitated for a moment. Melrose struggled to keep their fur flat. Why wasn't he cooperating? Not until you give me something first, Melrose. Something. Anything. I can't. Melrose tried to ease the panic in their tone. I want to know as bad as you do, Dimgaze. These deaths under Tumblestar. Something isn't right about that. Pitting the blame, as usual. And that you've been acting strange, Dimgaze replied. I don't want to accuse. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to just understand. I can barely read that because of the name. They took the item off the shelf. It was intertwined with undetectable nightshade. They placed it down next to Dimgaze's paw. Please calm down. And yet, that argument with Tumblestar, he trailed off in thought. I can't wait until another death happens. The deputy's body was stiff and rigid. This cat was going to ruin everything. Melrose was losing composure. And if any cat would have the power to get away with murder like this, he trailed off again. It would be you. Melrose tensed, their eyes fixed on the cat, nearly with blurry vision. He held their eyes, not backing down as his tail lashed side to side, with a barely contained tension. The words hit them like a stagnant body of water, paralyzing. The only thing Melrose could do was turn around and paw red berries off of the tallest shelf. They turned quickly and aggressively, shoving the pawful into the deputy's maw. Dimgaze flinched back, but didn't move away, too taken aback by this MEDCAT's sudden act. He huffed and gasped out in pure shock, trying to spit and choke them out. But alas, the herbs were already taking effect as soon as they hit his tongue, numbing his mouth and seeping down his throat. They stared, cold. Was Tropplepaw still here? They could barely tell. Melrosechirp, he coughed out, frame quivering as he was forced to digest the poison. The words were muffled in their ears. They stepped off when Dimgaze fell limp, shaking. What's going on in here? The juice of the berries was still stuck to their fur. They just sat there, paralyzed. He rushed over to Dimgaze, hovering over his body as he pressed his paws into his side, trying to get them to cough up the berries. He ceased to move. Not a flick of ear or tail, not even the rise and fall of his breath. I didn't mean to kill him. I thought he was gonna spit them out. Melrose uncontrollably wailed. Are you okay, Melrose? Why did you do that to Dimgaze? I didn't. Not a single sentence was coming out right. Melrose slunk around the perimeter of the den. Someone stop Melrose, bring them to me. Uh-oh. Melrose, come back to the leader, don't make this hard. The claws were unsheathed. They stood in defense, hackles up. And then what? Their voice was raspy. You kill me? Tiny let out a low growl. No, of course not. No, we just want to talk. Nobody's killing anyone. That looks pretty killing over there. He turned, staring at Melrose as he approached the cornered MEDCAT. Melrose, he whispered, I trusted you. Why? When? They hissed in pure hatred. When would you ever? I trusted you when I appointed you MEDCAT, he shouted at his old friend. You did it to punish me, they screeched uncontrollably. You trapped me in here with this garbage, these awful cats that cry all day. I did it to protect you, he hissed. You were too ambitious. You wanted power, not to take care of the clan, but to hurt those that surround you. And look what that got us both, Melrose snarled. You got the glory. I never wanted to be a leader, but it's what the clan needed to thrive, and you murdered all of them. I did it for you, they grinned eerily. No cat would have died if you'd taken care not to get too close. You think I want all these cats dead? He took a deep breath in. I see now that you were never meant to be part of this clan, he sighed and closed his eyes. What a mighty mistake you've made. Melrose, you have one more statement before my warriors drive you out of one clan. Enjoy your glory. They bared their teeth. If I ever see you back in Wind Clan territory, I will kill you myself, he flicked his tail, signaling for the warriors to drive out Melrose. You're 2 warriors and what is it, like 4 apprentices over there? Tawny raised a paw, going to swat at Melrose with a hiss. Out! They snapped their teeth, but knew they wouldn't win this fight. They patted lightly on their paws. Are they gonna walk me all the way to the to the barn? Well, this is so sad. Oh wow, and everybody leaves the med den. All cats old enough to run across the moors gathered for a clan meeting. He stared at the remaining members of his clan with hidden hopeless eyes. Melrosechirp has been driven out of Wind Clan, he announced. They're responsible for the death of 3 cats, he continued. They fed Sparemarsh and Dimgaze poison berries while leading Spiderleap to the Thunder Path before pushing them towards a monster. I'll hold a vigil for the fallen cats, he sighed before continuing. Alright, well...